We're at a landscape near Blair, Nebraska today to talk about some of the storm damage that occurred on site last week. This particular landscape has an assortment of plant material that we can address and talk about, so this gives us an opportunity to give you some indication of what to do remedy-wise with your plant material. One of the things that we want to emphasize is don't forget the fundamentals. Plants need leaves to carry out photosynthesis. Sometimes that gets overlooked or forgotten about. So we're going to want to leave as much canopy as we can on trees and shrubs of what's remaining, even though the leaves are torn or tattered. In addition to that, we're going to want to evaluate our plants based upon health, safety, and welfare. For example, if you have a plant that's severely damaged, especially a tree where it's going to fall on a roof or cause damage or block a driveway, you're going to want to bring in a professional to probably take care of that situation right away on your behalf and do it in a professional manner. We know that we've had other things that have happened to plant material over the past winter with high winds, severely cold temperatures, some drought situations, and this storm is just another straw in the basket that plants are going to have to overcome. So let's make sure we don't forget the fundamentals, let's make sure we don't get overly aggressive, and let's make sure we don't do certain things like we do not want to use paint, we do not want to use wrap, we do not want to do anything overly aggressive that's not going to help the plant. All right, let's take a look at this hydrangea plant because it's probably similar to a number of plants that are now in your landscape due to the storm damage. And you're going to see a lot of bruised plant tissue. You're going to see a lot of ripping and tearing on the foliage. But what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to try to give as many clean cuts as possible to this particular plant and help kind of redefine its structure a little bit. So up here towards the top, we're going to try to find the first set of leaves that show any sign of growth or node development, or still have some leaf tissue on them, and we're going to cut back to that direct set of leaves and give that a nice clean cut, because that's where growth is going to be initiated. And once we do that, we'll start making similar cuts all through the plant itself, just to try to shape the plant to give it as much aesthetic appeal as possible. All right, let's talk a little bit about perennial plant material in regards to recovery and remedies. This is one of the perennial geraniums that you may have in your garden or various gardens across the state. And what we see here is the foliage is starting to form a nice rosette. So any of the damaged stems or tissue, we're going to cut back to that rosette itself, all the way back to the crown of the plant, and give the plant an opportunity to flush new growth. We're going to talk a little bit about tools that are going to help you get the job done quicker and faster. And so we have a bypass pruners, different size loppers, a folding saw, and maybe a pair of shears. A lot of work can be done with just these hand tools without making a lot of noise and creating a lot of fuss. Plus, if you need something bigger than that, you might want to go ahead and bring in a professional to help you take care of the situation. Plants are tough. They'll come back. Don't get too aggressive. Be patient. Take good care of them in regards to all the other cultural care needs that they have, and you'll see some success throughout the growing season.